There's a reason this didn't come out, because it sucks. That's what it boils down to. Lost Levels sucks. It's a very challenging, very cheaply made, bad level design game that almost nobody likes and nobody talks about nowadays, except for speedrunners who are sadistic enough to play with this nonsense. But they also probably like playing Kaizo hacks, which are even more way more sadistic than this. Like absolutely outrageously sadistic compared to this. Like Kaizo is a completely different level. That's where like you're doing like pinpoint stuff that's so pinpoint that you have to basically be like whether a robot or a complete lunatic to be able to even get like past the first jump. Like that's what Kaizo is. That stuff where it's legit impossible for anybody that's not a complete god tier freak at these games, which is this area is a pretty Kaizo itself. What is but like I said, this is the first Mario ROM hack where they just did the difficulty way too high just to basically, take a poop on the people that are like, oh, Mario 1's too easy. So let's just make it impossible. Or near impossible. And it's like, it's not hard from good design, it's hard from stupid ideas. Let me guess, this is another one of those you have to pick the right path. Or just loops things, right? No? Mercy? Excuse me, how in the world am I supposed to... Bro, how... Bro, that fire stick is too fast. Like a small, like, corner or something I could get into, maybe? You see what they're asking me to do? That. Now they're asking me to do it again. Luckily with a little bit more space this time. But just do the same exact thing over and over, Johnny. That'll work. He threw those last two hammers as just like a F you to me, didn't he? He just did. Straight up. That's exactly what he did. That's 7-4 done. Of course, your princess is in another castle, so we're going to 8-1, which I think I remember this one. I think I remember 8-2 is what I remember. I mean, I've beaten Lost Levels before. Believe it or not, I have. Maybe even on console. I don't remember. I've been playing it since I was a kid and I always kind of thought it was neat, but now looking back, I can see why people didn't like it. Because it is really unfair in difficulty. I mean, you got to remember, this is an official Nintendo release. This is not some fan game like, Kaizo Mario or, any of those other crazy hacks like Casio Mario and all that, which are more, I would call those more puzzle than platformer, because it's more like once you figure out how to do it, like you can do it, It's more of a puzzle to figure out how do I do this impossible looking thing than actually pulling it off, This pipe is no good for me. Jump is no good for me either. I don't think I can make that jump. I just don't think you're supposed to. Okay, maybe you're supposed to. You just gotta be perfect, of course. There we go. And then you're immediately hit with the hammer, bro. Why am I not surprised by that at all? Let's see if we can finish this up. Had to stop for lunch to get me and Papa some lunch. Little girl gotta eat. She's a growing baby, even though she's not. She's almost 9 years old, but she's still growing and she's still a baby. I tell her all the time, like, look, I don't care how big you get, or how old you get, or how ferocious you think you are, you little weenie. Because she's a little weenie dog. I said, I don't care what you think. You know, you all big and bad. You still daddy's little girl, no matter what you do. And then usually that's followed by a bunch of kisses from her. Sweet baby, she's so sweet. But she don't like intruders, but she ain't mean at all. She just, you know, will sniff you to death and figure out if you're good or bad. But she's not aggressive in any other way. She's just very curious when she sees somebody new and doesn't like being penned up and is worried that someone's trying to mess with her daddy. But I love my papa. I really do. She's a sweet baby. When there's nobody here, except for me and her, which is about 99.9% of the time, she is so quiet. She doesn't bark. She doesn't, you know, I mean, she'll throw tantrums sometimes, like whining at the door, wanting to come in when I'm eating or something, or she wants attention, but rarely barks, doesn't tear the house up. You know, she did when she was a little puppy, but that's normal. You know, puppies are just chaotic little monsters. And her and Bubba both were. And they used to eat the couch, and that was a mess. That worked. I'm kind of shocked that worked too. I'm kind of shocked that worked. They're just chaotic little monsters. I think this is a level that loops unless you do some secret crap. I think. Yeah, this is one of those. I'm gonna have to look it up really quick. But yeah, she's sweet baby. That's how you do it. Basically, you just have to use that Koopa to get that vine to come out. But luckily, we don't have any more of those sort of where do I go, what do I do, except for 8-4. I think there's some levels after that, but I'm just going to stop at 8-4 once I'm done with Bowser, because all that other stuff I think is just challenge run stuff. It's not like story-wise, it ends at 8-4. Because then you can go into like the 9 dashes, and that's all like super hard stuff. And, you know, then the A levels and all that, the lettered levels and a bunch of extra nonsense that I don't feel like putting up with. You know, it's an achievement just to even get to 8-4 and not pull your hair out by that point. I don't understand why some springs make you jump up super high and other ones don't, and they don't have any way to distinguish them as far as I can tell. I keep dying to this one Koopa, and it makes no sense for why would I be dying to this one Koopa over it. I can justify it in my mind because, you know, Mario Lost Levels is meant to be hard. It is not a, you know, Johnny, you're just bad at the game kind of thing. I mean, Lost Levels is meant to be. It was so hard that Nintendo wouldn't let us have it for like 10 years almost. Like, think about that. Like, Nintendo canceled a game due to difficulty. I'm happy we got Doki Doki Panic over here. As, you know, Mario 2 USA or whatever they call it over there. I think it's Mario 2 USA over there. I'm happy we got that because I love that game. I think that's probably in my top 3 Mario games that I've played ever. You know, I love that game. I think it's awesome. And I love the level design and the creative, all that. Throat's starting to get a little sore because I've already done one video today, and that was Mega Man 2. I'm doing this as a second project, which was probably not the best idea, especially after having a sore throat last night from acid. That's my problem, it's acid. I don't have a cold or anything, I just have acid problems. My acid reflux is freaking legendary, bro. I'll just put it that way. It is absolutely legendary, or it should be. Like, I had to take every antacid in the shelf because I just am too stupid to not eat acidic stuff. But I found out through 2 days of misery, I can no longer eat ice cream because for some reason, it gives me so much acid that it just makes me almost have sinus infection symptoms. This jump is outrageous. That's an easier and probably the intended way. Pray for me. Pray for me in my esophagus. That'll eventually probably collapse in on me from all this acid over the years. See, I used to have an iron stomach back in the day. Like, I could eat any slop there was. And like Dad said, you know, Dad told me, you know, rest in peace, Dad. But Dad did tell me, he says, you know, I was just like you. I was invincible until I was 28. And then I started falling apart. And sure enough,